Welcome to another High Ground podcast in under 10 minutes. I'm CBW.
I'm Callum.
So it was revealed in the upcoming adaptation of The Rise of Skywalker that Palpatine is in fact a clone.
Of course he is.
So, so the question here where I'm going to ask you, do you think that the fan base now will accept that he is a clone, or do you like it being the whole ambiguous?
Yeah, it's a no-brainer. He didn't even care going out how he was there. He was there, and it was cool. And like, I actually kind of like the whole Sith sorcery alchemy side of it. You know, like when you hear some of the First Order. Too much Star Trek lately. Sorry. First Order people saying like, oh, they're all a bunch of soothsayers and witches, and I thought, oh, that sounds quite cool actually. Like, you know, there is a bit of mystery to it, like the original Force was. But I just, even like I've known a few people that have said, oh, he's a clone, or online it's probably a clone. And I just thought, I don't want them to say if it is or not, and I don't really care. It's just more Ian McDiarmid is just cool.
I completely agree. I mean, for me, and this is my opinion, is that, and this is something I said at the time of when I saw it, was that to me, I've always saw the Emperor's Return as being he survived the shaft.
Yeah.
So the fact that in the novels, because I'm a Star Wars film fan, I've never really read the novels or anything, and to me he is because it's all fiction, it's not real.
Yeah.
To me, he is still the Emperor survived the thing. So it's even if it's canon, it's not. I've always said regarding fan groups and fans and everything, is that because it's all fiction, we can write our own.
Yeah.
And the only thing that makes it canon is authentically licensed.
Yeah, Disney saying.
Yeah, Disney says this is it. It's authentically licensed.
I mean, you have your head canon. Don't you?
Yeah.
But, I mean, I never really even thought about it, to be honest. I just thought, yes, the Emperor's back.
He was cool.
Like, yeah, and scary. You know, and that was all that mattered. Like, I even liked the idea. You know, when you see him, when the camera like goes around him, and he's got like the red robes from Episode 3, or it looks like the red robes from when he's in the Senate, and it was just stuff like that was cool. Like, obviously having Ian McDiarmid play it, well, no one else could, but I just didn't even bother me that how he came back. He was just back.
Yeah, that's the thing, and this is the thing when you always fascinates me is when you get people, because I remember when Skywalker came out, people were actually coming up to me saying their theories about the Emperor and everything. And I'm trying to explain that you've got to them that just because you're a fanboy who reads into all this sort of stuff, it's that you've got to remember the general public
don't
just know 1 through 9, Solo and Rogue One.
Yeah. And
they don't care about anything else. They just want what's going to be on the big screen, or as now with Disney Plus, with like The Mandalorian and of course the Clone Wars.
Small screen, yeah.
So so you've got those. So people only are interested in what they can access readily. They don't want to sit down, because most people have lives that are actually go to see these. Actually have, especially if you're an adult, if you're a child or you're into the geek culture, you've got more time to do these sort of things. But if you're just the general public, you have to have everything and all the information given to you right there, rather than having it explained out in something extra.
Yeah, I mean, they're only going to see the numbered ones, aren't they?
Yeah.
I mean, if you boil it down to an armchair Star Wars fan, they're probably not even going to watch the stories.
Yeah.
Probably just the numbered ones, like, because logically, unless you're a fan, like your head space is going to say to you, oh well, it's all numbered. These are the main ones.
Yeah.
And they are to an extent. Like everything else is born out of those ones. But yeah, I mean, I was a big reader of the Expanded Universe when I was a kid, like the Thrawn trilogy and especially the Dark Horse comics. I used to love the comics, but it was when they decanonized it, it didn't bother me. Like it didn't really. I did think like it was starting to get a little silly. I mean, there was stuff with like Luke destroying Star Destroyers floating in space and throwing black holes, and I was just kind of like, that's Superman. Like that's DC or that's Marvel, and that shouldn't be in Star Wars, and like Force witches and stuff like that. Like what?
But that's the fan base that actually likes it. It holds on to all that with the life, the ones, the reasons why they like Luke Skywalker's arc. Even though to a lot of people like myself, Luke Skywalker's arc between the Return of the Jedi and the Last Jedi was the natural arc for me.
Yeah, perfect. I mean, like it always made more sense that he should become Obi-Wan.
Yeah,
that's who he is. Like that's the only Jedi he ever spoke with properly.
It's the Jedi way.
And
to go on to retreat.
Yeah.
Even Yoda wanted to retreat.
Even Yoda was in it though, like, and he got a good send off. So it's just, yeah, I don't know. I think it's sad that they felt the need to explain it. If it was there, like, if you had to go and read it in a novel or something, then that's fine because we don't have to do that.
No.
Or if it's implied, you know, like that this is what happened, but we're not saying if it is or not. That's fine. But I mean, the clone thing's always there to explain anything in Star Wars because of thanks to the Clone Wars and Episode 2 and 3, isn't it? I mean, because we all know so much about it because of those. I think that's our natural inclination whenever someone returns from the dead. And
like time travel in Star Trek.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I mean, but we don't blink an eye too much in Star Trek. Have you noticed that? Like, it's kind of like accepted in Star Trek because that's the more realistic one. You know, I mean, I don't know. I think it's just, and Harry Potter as well. Time travel in Harry Potter as well, isn't it?
With a time turner.
Yeah, or like, I mean, I suppose they have magic in that as well, don't they? And same with Game of Thrones, you sort of don't blink because it's fantasy, so you can use magic.
It's accepted in the conventions of the universe that you presented to.
And I think a lot of people struggle with the fact that Star Wars is actually fantasy.
Yeah.
It's not science fiction, but I think we just assume because it's set in space and it looks futuristic that it's science fiction, and it's not. But I think that trips a lot of people up because it, you know, outwardly it doesn't appear to be fantasy, but then you strip it down and it is 100%. I don't know. Yeah, I think it's kind of sad that they felt the need to explain it. But then that's the film society we live in now, isn't it?
It's to sell books.
Yeah.
I'll be honest with you, if you as much as, you know, as much as I love the film, I really, like you said, I really don't want to explain that. I've had a choice of either reading an adaptation of a Star Wars film or reading a book by Carrie Fisher. The Carrie Fisher book's always going to win.
Yeah, definitely.
I'd rather read...
Be more interesting.
Yeah, I'd rather read about her and her behind-the-scenes things like a Princess Diarist, which is absolutely fantastic.
Yeah.
So
and some juicy goss as well.
Yeah. So I recommend
guaranteed that with Carrie Fisher.
Oh, she's brilliant. She is. So I'm just going to stick to the Blu-ray one. Skywalker.
I'm really not an EU person. Not European Union. I mean, expanded universe. I'm really not anymore. I mean, I play the games when they come out, but even to me, the games aren't really. You know, they say everything after 2013 is now canon, but I'm still just sticking with films.
If anyone from Disney Publishing's out there and wants me to read a Star Wars book, it's called The Scripts. Release the scripts so I can read what the original ones.
The original cuts.
Yeah, that would be nice. Yeah, that would be nice. Yeah, we want theatricals, the cleaned up versions, not the ones that were released around 2004.
Yeah, that's a point actually. I'm wondering which. I'm hoping. I mean, probably not, but I would imagine is it the special editions that are going on Disney Plus. I wish they'd sort of reverse that and just bring us the original cuts back.
Coming soon to
they own Fox now.
Yeah.
So what's stopping them?
Coming soon to the High Ground podcast. Star Wars on Disney Plus.
Original cuts or not?
So that's being what we think about the whole Palpatine being a clone thing on under 10 minutes.
Under 10 seconds. Bullshit.
Summed it up. See you soon.
See you later.